Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti. Symbolism is not a science, it's an art. You can't be studying symbolism like how you study science. Symbolism works based on the thought association principle. For the thought association principle, you need to have some similar. Some points are similar. So, seeing that, you are triggered off the other. And there is no science behind it. Don't try to, read science in symbolism. Then you would be missing the whole point. Symbolism is provided to whom? That's the basic question we have to ask. All the symbols were given to whom? For what? It is given to a seeker who says, I am not able to connect, get this thought of the higher God, truth, reality. I'm not able to get it on my own. I need some props, something for me to trigger that thought. If something triggers, after that I will take it up. After that I will go on my own. Like many times, you forget. We ask for the first word. In memorization of formulas and concepts and all that, we used to, practice one technique, acronyms we create with all the, first letters. We'll create one sentence or we create something. There's no connection. Jack brought a cup of coffee to serve. That's all you would remember. But that will trigger the formula, the concept. Now, the concept has nothing to do with Jack bringing a cup of coffee. There's no connection. That connection exists only for me. If you see that, you won't make any sense out of it. So this acronyms is a way to trigger which is known to me already. Remember, if you read that acronym, you will not get anything. You will get all wrong things only. When I read that, I can get it. Like for color, we use Vimkyo. Now, only if you know it is this, violet, indigo, all that. When you know, then it will work for you. When you don't know, then it will not work. So symbolism works to a person who has already knows something, but he is not able to establish himself in that thought. He is not able to maintain the consistency of it. I wanted to get that thought consistently. I have understood. I am more or less convinced also. There is God, there is truth, there is reality. But I am not able to remember it. I keep forgetting. To him, certain props were given. Those props were called symbolism. by that, he will get the trigger of that particular aspect of the truth. He's not going to get the total truth. That he will not remember. He will remember only that particular. It's not that he is going to know entire mathematics, entire physics by knowing one formula. But all the formulas put together is physics. Similarly, the truth, reality, God is total. But I can never know the total directly. I can know that only part by part, aspect by aspect, bit by bit. So for me to connect to the total through that bit is where this symbolism comes. That's where a lot of gods and idols, all that is being created, so that we can remember that truth. So this is the principle. So people, start interpreting. That's where the problem is. When you see people interpreting without this context in mind, you will read all sorts of things. It's exactly like a person who is interpreting Vibgyor without knowing for what it is being created. He doesn't know, and he is explaining. You have to try that with people who never knew anything about it, who knew only letters, English alphabets. They know this is A, B, C, D, all that they know. Just give them that and ask them, what do you read in this? So interesting to see. Like I told you, Jack brought a cup of coffee to drink. I'm not going to tell you for what I kept this. Because I kept for, during my college. Brought a cup of coffee to drink. So the moment I say that, I remember. Now, what do you people make out of it? If you interpret, if you sit and study, and factually, if I explain that concept, and Jack brought a cup of coffee to drink, no connection you will make. Now, on what logic you created that sentence? Why do you have to have coffee there? You could have kept some other word. No. It's so interesting to see how people interpret things without knowing the context of symbols. So you have to know the context of symbol for you to interpret it, to understand. Without that context, if you interpret, you will lose the whole idea. You will get into absurdities. And that's what we find. A lot of absurd ideas we get. You see, like a temple you go, people interpret temple so interestingly. Each one interprets temple in their own ways. Now the problem is, we ask the question, okay, now, Ishwara, you mean to say only your interpretation is correct, all of them are wrong? We can't say that also here. In science, you can say that. That's correct, this is wrong. And 2 + 2 = 4 means only one answer you can have. You can't have possibly 5 answers for that. 2 + 2 is 4 means it is 4. If another fellow says, no, it is 5, means he is wrong. But in this, there's no such thing. You see, so same way here, how you have to ensure there is no possibility that you can know. That is where we fix the context. See, that's where we ask these 2 questions basically. For whom, for what? To a person who is a seeker, plus he already has gained some knowledge and he wants to maintain that consistency of the thought, he is not able to do that. To him, how he needs props. As many props as possible, so many ways, so many times, he will be reminded of that. Thereby, he will maintain that thought. Through the trigger, he gets it. Now, if I am not having these two things inside me, and then if I see that, it won't make any sense. Like when you see Brazil's flag, first of all, you may not even know. In fact, I'm just saying Brazil flag. I don't know what is Brazil flag. I know, about a few countries' flags we can recognize. The Brazil flag, I don't know. So if someone brings that flag, I will consider that as what? Good design. I'll say, no, pathetic design. Why this is there, why that is there, I will not understand. But a person from Brazil will understand. To him, it is so inspiring. Like for us, Indian national flag is so inspiring. It is so touching. It is so close for us. But not a Brazil flag. Why? The flag did not come first. What came first is the national consciousness. The thought of nation was given first. And for that national consciousness to express or to get remembered. So now we say there are two contexts comes into picture. One, for me to express my respect to a nation, I need a symbol. I need something. I want to salute my country. How will I salute my country? I can't be looking down at the ground and salute, which is the right way of doing it, actually speaking. But no country does that. You see, everyone is looking up. You have to look up to the country. You don't look down to your country. You see, so when you look up, you get space. In space, there is no difference. It's the same thing. There's no difference. You can't get it. You see, therefore, they needed something to be put up so that I can look up and do. That is respect. So I want to be reverentially look up to my country. Therefore, they said they needed something to be put up there. That's the flag. But the flag will trigger it if you are having it inside. If you are not having inside, you will go to the temple and ask the question, is it marble or granite? At maximum, you will do what? What an architecture here. Like I've seen a lot of people in YouTube, explain the beauty of temples. Says, look at this art, look at that work, look at this precision. You can just slide a paper through. Then how is it hanging there? How is it standing? You can put a thread. Brihadeshwara temple, if you go, they will show you. Only a thread can pass through. Just push it, push it, push it, push it, push it. It comes through the other side. And who has done that work? How they have done it? Oh, amazing, yeah. That's not the job of a temple, please. To whom? You see, that's where the question comes. To whom? Without you fixing that, without you answering that question, never read it. That's why a Catholic comes to Brihadeshwara temple, he doesn't get any inspiration. Same way, if you go to Vatican and see Pope coming onto that balcony, what do you get? A South Indian Brahmin won't get anything. All that he will say is what? Wow, man, it is so, nice. What is so nice about it? Look at his dress, he will say. He's not going to get inspiration out of it. But whereas when he sees this arati being done to a god or goddess, he'll get so inspired. A Catholic comes and he looks at it, he says, there's no meaning in that. Why? Because I can see that already. Why are you, showing? Why are you burning this campfire there? He doesn't understand. And he's not going to get inspiration also out of it. That's what the point is. So for that, they created very many symbols, very many gods, representing what? A particular idea. The particular idea that you have with reference to the world that you see around is the three things: creation, maintenance, destruction. And not only these three, they said these three are just manifestations. That's about it. This is just the world. Brahma ji is supposed to be doing the job of creation. And Vishnu is supposed to be doing the job portfolio given to him was maintenance. Shiva is supposed to be doing destruction. This is a very popular idea. You see. But then, when you read about Shiva, when you read about Vishnu, you don't see like that. They don't seem to be. Even Brahma also, when you read, Brahma is not only creating job. It's not that he is just a production manager. You see, operations handled by Vishnu. Sales, clear the stock. That's a destruction. That's why in any company you go, sales department is the most powerful department. In India also, you see maximum number of temples for Shiva only. Destruction. Very powerful fellow, he's supposed to be. Same way, sales department will command everybody. But then there is a CEO who is sitting behind all that, who never gets involved with any one of these things. He doesn't do any one of that. But he is the chairman. Or nowadays we have to say chairperson. In Vedanta, they say even chairperson is wrong. Just a chair, that's all. You can't say person. That is why this, they don't say Shiva, they say Shivam. Because Shiva is masculine gender. Okay. Shivam is neutral gender. They say there is no, strictly speaking, you should not call it as Shiva. You should call it as Shivam. So, these three portfolios being given, of the three, one person is doing this, one person is doing this. This is a very, very preliminary, very simple way of understanding. But then when you start reading about those deities, those gods, we find very, very different picturization being given to us. Because if you see Brahma, is he doing only creation job? No. We find in the Puranas, we read the stories about Brahma. From where you are going to know about Brahma is only from the stories that you read in the Puranas. The true or false is not my point, but you are getting to know about it. Like, how do you know about Julius Caesar? Have you seen him? What is written by the historians in the history book, correct? Otherwise, how would you know? Shakespeare wrote a play about Julius Caesar. Bernard Shaw also wrote a play about Julius Caesar. Right? And you want to say both the plays are same? No. The play, Julius Caesar play only. But Bernard Shaw is totally different. And Shakespeare's play is totally different. But both of them were talking. And the historians talk about Julius Caesar. Now, who you are going to take as reference point? And in historians also, there are very many historians speaking differently. So you are getting to know about Julius Caesar only from various. Similarly, you are going to know about Brahma from what? Various Puranas. That's where it is so interesting to see. Each Purana gives account very differently. About Shiva, you wanted to know, then you have to go to Puranas. Then you go there, account given in the Puranas is very, very, very different. You see, and about Vishnu, you want to know, you have to go there only. Or, okay, a little more you can go deeper, means you can go to the Upanishads or Vedas. That's where it gets really fascinating for us. In the Vedic times, Vedic period and all, if you see, every time these devas get into trouble, first they run to Brahma only. They run to Brahma for help. Please help us, save us. Asuras, whenever they do penance, they wanted to take blessings and the boons from Brahma only. Brahma gives. Now, if Brahma's portfolio is only creation, what he should say? Look here, protection, don't come to me. You mean to say Devas don't know protection portfolio is given to Vishnu, so let's go directly to Vishnu. They don't. They go to Brahma, and then he will take them to Shiva, or he will take them to Vishnu, or he himself will give a solution. Wait. You can't go and ask him, no, wait. Waiting for him, waiting means you have to wait for another 5,000 years. You can't be saying, okay, wait means what, 5 minutes? He will say, my 5 minutes. Brahma's 5 minutes is like, 5 yugas over. Like that is what his 5 minutes is. You see? So we see different accounts being given to us. Every account is to give that spinning that stories, spinning various ideas to trigger so many things in us. Because this thought alone getting triggered, you can't maintain that consistency. Remember, it's not possible. Only by rational thought, maintaining consistency is so difficult. Whereas it is easier if a particular emotion gets triggered. That's why it is easy for you to, when an emotion gets triggered, it's easy to be consistent with that. Be it anger, be it affection. When affection gets triggered, you will stay with that relationship. When anger gets triggered, you will repel that relationship. You can be consistent. You can be more intense. Only when emotion gets triggered. To a thought getting triggered and become intense is demanding a lot from our personality. Right? If a thought itself can create that intensity in that personality, then he doesn't require the symbolism at all. Because he will remember by himself. He doesn't require a prop to get reminded. The fact that we are dependent means we are not intellectual in nature, introvert in nature. Therefore, we have to. So therefore, when you are studying these things, always it has to trigger some emotion. And that's where they spend so many stories for us. That's why we read many stories. If you are reading those stories without that context, you won't even understand, because many places we find Brahma, who is supposed to be the one who knows the entire Vedas, committing heinous crimes. So wrong he looks. Same way, many places we find Shiva doing so many things which we can't accept. How can he do such a thing? This is not the way it is done. You want to test your devotees, you test them, but not like this. This is very bad. This is very wrong. This is, beyond human rights. It's very derogatory. All that we will start. Why we are starting all that is, we are not realizing the purpose for which these things were created. So many stories are coming into picture. That's where we find so interesting things. And they maintain that thing. Like, as I was referring, I don't know whether I explained it or not, but I think I had referred somewhere in the past about Brahma. You see, it's so interesting to see so many festivals we have. Ramanavami is there, Ganesh Chavati is there, Krishna Jayanti is there, this Jayanti, that Jayanti, Shivaratri and Navaratri is there, for Durga is there, that is there, for Mahalakshmi we have. For every god there is a festival. But for Brahma there is no festival. You have Ashtotras are there, no? For all the gods we have Ashtotras, this puja is being done. For every deity we do puja. But there is no puja for Brahma. And there is no temple also. Of course, there are places where we have temples. There are two places we have at the temple for Brahma. Pushkar is one place which is popular to people. Many know that. The moment we say Brahma temple, immediately everybody will go to the Pushkar name. The Pushkar temple only they remember. But there is a temple we have near Kumbakonam. In south, there is a temple for him. And there is a temple, for his assistant. That Chitragupta is there, no? That fellow. There is a temple in Kanjipuram. But that's only one temple. You see, otherwise there's no temple. Or Chidambaram, there is a particular Sannidhi is there for Brahma. But that is not Brahma. His name is not Brahma there. He is being called as Chandeshwara or something. There. That's not his name there. But Brahma's temple you have to go means you have to really search for it. Why there is no puja for it? Why there is no? Immediately, we go back to the stories. And it's so interesting why this is the case, sir. There, you go to Shiva, Puranas, Shaivite Puranas, one story is given. Vaishnavite Puranas, you go, another story given. Shaivite Purana, if you go, it says, it seems once, this Brahma and Vishnu got into a tussle. Who's greater? Is Brahma superior or Vishnu superior? And when they are fighting like that, suddenly Shiva appeared in a form of a Jyotis Linga. Right? Huge Linga appeared. When that came, these two decided, okay, whoever finds the end point is superior. And Brahma decided to go upwards. He says, look here, going down and searching for a feat is derogatory. We're all intellectual people, We go up only. For intellect only I will go. with that arrogance, he started moving upwards. You know, he took a Hamsa and started flying up. He went up, 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 and is going up. That's all. And Vishnu took the form of boar, wild boar, started digging the earth. He went right up to that Patala. Beyond that, he didn't go. He said, "Look here, I don't know. I am not able to do it." So he came back, stating, accepting his defeat. He is not able to find it. And Brahma also went up. He came down, and blatantly he lied to Vishnu that I saw that. I have seen the top. I captured the head. And that is the time Shiva came and he said, since you lied, and of course, since Brahma has done that, Brahma asked Vishnu to do puja to him. Now you worship me. And when Vishnu started the worship, Shiva couldn't take it because it's a lie. He is lied. To a liar, how can a fellow can do it? So he came and he cursed Brahma. Henceforth, nobody will do puja to you. He said, no Shodas Upachara for you. Henceforth. That's it. Done. That's all the story is. Now, don't immediately start thinking in terms of, okay, what's the symbolism of, food? What is this? Don't get into all that. All this is the whole story when you are listening to what was happening internally to you. Each one will be taking one thing out of it. One person will say, see, humility, man. Vishnu, you see, humble. You should be humble. One fellow. Another fellow will say what? He will say, look at the arrogance of this man. For his arrogance, he paid his price. Correct? He should be punished. Look at Shiva. He is the supreme one. Why? Both of them, they are not able to find the head or the toe of Shiva. So he is the supreme. You will interpret it in your own ways. What symbolism says is, it doesn't matter what you're interpreting. Are you getting triggered with reference to a particular emotion directed towards the higher? That's all. The purpose is only that much. You see, you can. I'm not going to do it. You can interpret the whole thing pervertedly also. The same thing. For which I don't have to conduct a class. So I'm not doing it. This is Shiva's way. Now there is another one. You go to Vishnu Purana, there the whole story is different about the same instance. Why there is no puja? Why there is no temple for Brahma? Why, sir? It seems suddenly one day this Rishi by name Bhrigu, he got a doubt. Of the three gods, who is the most sattvic god? Sattva. Who is sattvic? Who is good? So he decided to test. Look at this. This is the beauty of this, system. Beauty of this religion is the devotee puts the god into test. You see, look at this is called Catholicity. This is called freedom. This Bhrigu goes to Brahmaloka. And how do you test someone? Don't try all that, okay? I'm just giving you. Because reactions may vary, like how they reacted. Now he went, and what Bhrigu did was, Brahma was sitting there, and when Brahma was sitting, he straight went to enter the room and pulled a chair and sat in front of him with the, and he crossed his leg and started shaking her leg. How are you, man? Imagine you go to Prime Minister's office. And Prime Minister is sitting, President is sitting there. You don't go there straight, and sit and put your, leg and start saying, "How are you, buddy?" Imagine if you speak like that. Forget about the president or prime minister. The security will throw you out. It's not accepted. Same way, Brahma is such a big man, and when he did this, Brahma got annoyed and started shouting at Bhrigu. Since you shouted at me, Bhrigu cursed Brahma, stating, henceforth, in the world, nobody will do any puja to you. Because in puja, we only keep praising, no? You are this, you are that, you are great, you are this, and all you keep saying to God. So since you abused me, no one will praise you. Therefore, no temples, no worship for you. Get out. Straight he went to Kailash, where Shiva is sitting. He went to Shiva and he abused Shiva also there, similarly. And Shiva got so wild, he took his Trishul and came to attack him and kill him. At least Brahma was slightly better. He was only, shouting at him. But Shiva was one step ahead. What he did was, he took his Trishul and came to finish him off. Since you wanted to be destroyed, Bhrigu cursed Shiva that in the world, no one will worship you with form. Let you be worshipped without any form. Formlessly you will be worshipped. That's why there's no form for Shiva. You see, it's only Linga we worship. That is why there is no. It's only Shiva Linga worship. There is no form for it. And then straight he said, okay, at least last let's give a try to Vishnu. So he went to Vishnu. Vishnu was sleeping. Vishnu was not sitting. So he got so annoyed. All the time sleeping, he went and gave one kick to him. Where? On his chest. Chest he went and gave one kick. And Vishnu immediately caught hold of Bhrigu's feet and started massaging. I'm sorry, I didn't know this, that you are going to come and kick. If I knew that you are going to kick, I would have removed my jewels and all that, because they're all poking. Could have poked your feet. There, Bhrigu announced the most sattvic of all the three is Vishnu. This is a sattvic God. This is out. Brahma out, Shiva out, Vishnu won the game. After that, something else happened. Because this fellow kicked on the chest, that is a place of Mahalakshmi. See, Lakshmi. So Mahalakshmi became angry with Bhrigu. He said, you want to kick Vishnu, kick him. Kick on his head, kick on his stomach, kick on his back, kick on his feet, kick on his hip. Why are you coming and kicking me, man? He said, since you kicked me, henceforth, none of your descendants will have the blessings of mine. That's why Brahmins can never have Mahalakshmi with them. They say, all his descendants. Poverty-stricken fellows only they'll be. It's nothing to do with the bank balance, remember. Brahmins' qualities, if you see, how much ever they have, they will live like poverty only. These fellows will not know how to enjoy wealth. You want to know how to enjoy wealth, you go to Punjab. You got to see, north. You see how people enjoy it. These fellows, they'll have everything, but still they will eat what? Curd rice. They can't have anything else. Idli. Even if you ask him, what do you want me to send? He will say idli. They send idli, rasam. That's all. Soup. See, soup is a starter. These fellows finish that as a lunch. They have soup and mix that with rice and eat. That's all it is. Artistic and fellows. Why? Curse of Mahalakshmi. Because Big Brigu kicked. Oh, all stories. So many stories. Triggering emotion. Okay. There is another set of stories triggering thought association. Right. Another set is there with reference to Shiva himself. You see, that Shiva appeared as that Jyotirlinga is what we worship as Shivaratri. It's supposed to be the night on which he appeared as that form, Linga. This is one. There is another one also. They say Shivaratri is the night on which Shiva performs his dance. The cosmic dance he performs on that night, Shivaratri night. That is why we can't afford to sleep. You don't sleep. See that, the cosmic dance. See that cosmic dance of Shiva. Because Shiva is not just a person who is going to be only destruction please. That's not the way it is presented. If you read them, if you see more about that, deity, that God, how they are explained, how that is presented, is Shiva is the one who assumes 5 and performs 5 activities, not 3. The popular one is the 3. Most of us know that 5 activities performed by Shiva is Nataraja. That's what that post Nataraja, symbolizes. The Nataraja picture is the 5 activities performed by Shiva. So don't think that Shiva is only doing destruction. It's not that. It's not just killing. He performs everything. Popular one is 3. One is he takes the form of Brahma and performs the activity of creation. That creation is symbolized by Nataraja holding the damuru, the drum, in his one. If you see that Nataraja picture, right, he'll have on one hand, 4 hands are there, and 1 foot on the ground, another foot in the air. The right foot on the ground, left foot in the air. This is how you will see the picturization of Nataraja in Chidambaram. Chidambaram temple, if you go, Nataraja, picture, if you see, right foot on the ground, left foot on the air, and 4 hands he will have. And that one hand, he will be having the damuru, that sound. That damuru sound is the sound which was captured in the beginning. And through that sound, everything was created. From that sound, the whole thing created. Don't immediately say, that's exactly what string theory also says. So therefore, these people knew string theory then. They'll have too much of, pulling. Don't interpret too much. The concept is this. Essentially, they say the starting point of creation is from sound. That is one. And since I started this, I'll finish it. We'll go back to that story. Okay, don't forget. One few stories are triggering emotions. Another set of stories I told you will have thought association. Right. This is the basic thing. Since we have started Nataraja, just see that. Nataraja, one hand is the Damaru, is the sound from which the whole creation started. And that sound is Om. Is where this is what the Veda says. Through the sound Om, from that sound Om only, Brahma has started the entire creation. The Vedas came from Om, and then using that as a manual, Brahma created the whole world. This is one creation. On the other hand, you will see that he is holding fire. On the other hand, fire is there. The fire symbolizes destruction, finally burning. Everything is burnt, totally destroyed. So one side he is creating, on the other side, equally he is destroying also. And then if you see the other hand's mudra of his, he will be holding hand like this. This is protection. This is Abhaya Hasta. Whenever you go to the temples, the God will be holding hand like this or like this. Either this way or this way. The God will, God's hands, you see. Balaji, next time you go, see, Tirupati Balaji. Don't keep on looking at the diamonds. Right? See, the form also. You'll see he is holding hand like this. That means he is giving whatever boons that you want, granted. He is giving it. Take it. Yes. This is called a Varada Hasta. This is called Abhaya Hasta, protection. He is giving protection also. That is maintenance. So one, he is creation, destruction, maintenance. Then they say, with the foot that he is, the right foot down, on the ground. What is he doing, sir? Say, with the right foot on that, that dogfish demon, you'll find there's a demon. He'll be crushing the demon. You see, he is covering up that entire demon, as it were. He is suppressing it. He is holding that. Tirodhanam, it is called as. Veiling power. He covers it up also. Covering has also been done. What is he covering? Why he is covering? I'll just come back to it. One, he veils that veiling power that he has through his Maya. He covers the whole truth. It's not visible to us. One. Then the other foot that he is holding in the air, which is referred as Kunchitapada, is the most revered one in Nataraja picture. The entire picture, the essential one for all these people is that foot in the air, the left foot in the air. All these devotees, everyone talking about Shiva will always talk about that foot only. Rest of hardly anybody will speak. The Damaru, that holding fire in the hand, even this Abhaya Hasta and all, they will not talk much. Mostly you will find those people talking about Nataraja, singing about Nataraja, will talk only about that. Because he is pointing the other hand, down he is showing, that hand he is indicating, catch hold of this feet. Because through that feet alone, he is going to be giving this anugraha. Means he is going to be relieving you, moksha. So he is granting moksha through that feat. So what is his job? What all the things Shiva is doing? Don't say Shiva is doing only destruction. He is a god of destruction. Means you are amateur student of philosophy. You know, if you have the real understanding, you will say, no, he does 5 jobs, 5 portfolios. Many times we see, Prime Minister, Chief Minister themselves will have, multiple portfolios. Like that is. We have 5 portfolios. What are the things there? Creation, maintenance, destruction, wheeling, releasing. All that he is doing. Yes. In that, the wailing one, what is he doing in that? What is so good, so wrong is where we understand what is the blessings of it. It is not a curse, remember. It's a blessing. Like I said, initially, Brahma is not worshipped. Why he is not worshipped? It's not because of the stories, remember. It's not just the stories. Essentially, Brahma was really revered and respected a lot, and everyone was going to Brahma for guidance, for boon, for everything. People were going to Vishnu also for everything. People were going to Shiva also for everything initially. Over a period of time, what had happened? They removed Brahma out of equation and started keeping only these 2 fellows, Shiva and Vishnu. Brahma kept outside. Why? Because over a period of time, what had happened was the beings which are created, we were all going through the pain of samsara. Right? Since the pain of samsara has been so much so, what will happen? When you are going through that pain, that fellow started thinking, I suffer all these things. Why? Because that fellow got created. If I am not created, no problem. Therefore, the entire frustration that we were having with reference to our samsara got directed towards the creator. Is it the right thing to be done? Is it a sensible one to do, sir? I said, no. It's emotional trigger. That is why over a period of time, we removed him. You see, initially he was held a very high position. At least, if not higher than these 2, it is equally to Vishnu and Shiva. But over a period of time, this has happened. Why? Not because he is a creator, remember, because the samsaric pain that we were going through, we didn't know whom to blame. It's like, blaming the arrow instead of blaming the shooter. That arrow we started blaming. Who is that arrow? Brahma is the arrow. Why? He's a creator. Now, if you go to him, he says what? I created. Creation means what? This is where entire philosophy gets unfolded. How the whole thing triggers us towards philosophy, towards inquiry, towards understanding. That's the purpose of symbolism. Remember, symbolism purpose is only this much. It will trigger it. Once the trigger comes into picture, after that symbols move south, concepts comes into picture. After that, Vedanta will take over. You say, yeah, Brahma is a creator. On what basis he is creating? And what is the meaning of creation? That's where it is so interesting to see. Brahma creating is not like We creating a mobile phone, we creating a television, we creating a radio, not in that sense. Not like that. Then what is he doing, sir? What is the job of Brahma? And that's where Shiva also comes into picture. They said Shiva is doing all these things through the form of Brahma. Shiva is doing the maintenance through, or okay, Shivam. You can't say Shiva now. You got to say Shivam now. Shivam, that Brahman, is doing it through this form. Then destruction is done through the form of Rudra. Then the Tirodhanam is done in the form of Maheshwara, who is the veiling power, who covers the whole thing. Then comes release, that is Sadashiva. So he takes these forms. Now, how this is being done by himself? Say, all the creation is given to you. You have to be created. Why you have to be created? Is because you had entertained a desire. You have entertained a desire. When you have entertained that desire cannot go without fulfillment. That's the law. Any desire you entertain, you have to go through the experience of it. You have to go through it. You have to experience it. You can't keep quiet. That's the nature of desire. Like when I entertain the desire for chocolate, sweet, ice cream, I cannot keep quiet. Why don't you just entertain desire? Why don't you just visualize that you are having ice cream? Sit and imagine that you are having ice cream. Problem solved, no? Correct? I want to have a car. All that I have to do is what? Sit and imagine that I'm actually having a car. Will you be satisfied with that? Will you drop that thought of car? In fact, more and more you sit and imagine with reference to you holding that car, enjoying the car, driving that car, showing off, doing this, doing that, all those things will make you move towards physically having it. Isn't it? Can you keep quiet? Now we have so many desires. This is what is referred philosophically as karma. So many karma you have accumulated, when we say, all that it means is so many thoughts you have entertained, imagined about it, you have entertained, and developed a desire. Now, that needs to be experienced. To experience that, what is needed? I am an individual, right? That's the basic point. I feel that I am an individual, Jiva. Okay. This Jiva had entertained a thought. I want it. Now, if I have to experience what I need a body. Essentially, no. First point. Then I need that body to have necessary equipments to experience. Correct? So you can't just have the body. That body should have, you can't just have the car. You need to have accessories also, no, in the car to be fitted. That's why they keep, having very many prices, fully loaded. Car is more expensive. And certain features are not there. No power steering, no power windows, no this, no that. Then this is the price. That is the beings. What are they? Plant, animal, human. Fully loaded human. Partial loaded animal. Very, very basic. Car means what? Covering, four wheels, engine, steering, brake, accelerator, seat. That's it. Nothing else. Everything else is that's a plant body. You need something, and then need equipments to be fitted into it to go through that necessary things. Okay. You have a car, but if there is no road, what will you do? Car manufacturing has become better and better and more. When? Only after we have started building roads. If there is no road, where are you going to drive? You can't have Mercedes Benz in this Kachar. You need a proper road for it. That is the world. You need a field. You need those objects. So you need a body. You needed that necessary equipments to do it. And then you need a field also. After that, put all together your experience. Giving all this is referred as Aparanugraha, lower grace of the Lord. He is the one who is providing that body, providing that inner equipments, and the field, the world, to reap the benefits, to enjoy the desires of yours, benefits, or experience your karmic karma, whatever terms you use, doesn't matter. And experiencing actually what is being reaped. This is what is referred as Tanu, Karana, Bhuvana, Bhoga. The four things he gives. So when he says creation, creation means what? What is the job of Brahma? Brahma's job is to ensure to connect this jiva to that body. That's called creation. Remember, the car manufacturing company manufactures the car, but the car manufacturing company never knows who is going to be driving it. Isn't it? The manufacturer will never know. The driver comes independent. Similarly, the body that is created from the other body. This is what Khalil Gibran says. Remember, your children come through you. That's all. They just come through you. That means what? They are totally different. What you have provided is only the body. The person inside that body has got nothing to do with you. How can you have attachment after it? Huh? You can have gratitude for providing the body. That's all. You can never have attachment. If you understand this, you can never have. This is what Rama says in Yoga Vasishta. Yes. See, our life is like two logs of wood moving in the current of the river. Just touches. It goes this way, it goes that way. You keep going your way, they keep going their own way. That's all. In this, what relationship you are talking about? My father, hey mother. This is what Buddha told to his charity. Because the charity told Buddha, Buddha, you wanted to leave, but you have chosen the wrong time. Timing is wrong. Why? Your wife just delivered a baby, boy. And in those days, for the king to get the first child as a boy was something like you got to be extraordinary person to get it. They're aspiring for that. And you got it. Just go and see the baby and then leave. You leave. No problems. But just see and then leave. No. Yeah. To which Buddha said, 400 times I have done that. I'm not going to commit that same mistake again. Yeah. Up to this point, every Janma I came. And then what did I do? I made that same mistake. How many times? 400 times, he says. What did I do? I went and saw the child, got involved. I saw the child, got involved. I saw the child, got involved. I'm not going to repeat it this time. Pack up means pack up, says. Parents give what, sir? Just the body. That's about it. Same way, cosmic, if you take, what is the job portfolio of Brahma? Brahma is just, loads that software. Computer is given and loading, software loading job is the job of it. But who has created that hardware? Who gave that, sir? That is the grace of Shiva. What did he do? That is the first anugraha he does. For that, we catch hold of that foot of Shiva. That's the basic anugraha. Aparanugraha, say. That is the lower one. Thanks. Because I have entertained a desire, but I don't have the capacity to create a car. I don't have the capacity to put up the road. All that I can do is what? At best, I can drive properly and enjoy. That's all I can do. More than that, I don't have the capacity. The same is extended to the Jiva. The Jiva feels I can only entertain desire. I don't have the capacity to create the world. I don't have the capacity to create the body. I don't have the capacity to fit in the equipments appropriately in that. I don't have all that. All this has been given to me on plate for me to enjoy this world. I'm enjoying this world. For that, I'm so grateful. So the fellow goes and touches the feet of Nataraja. I'll tell you the other story in the next session. Triggering a thought. See, there's already time. What is the grace? There are two graces he gives. That Kunchita Pada. We go and pray to Nataraja. Of that, most important one is this. Why? Is because he is the one who has provided all these things for us. That provision was made by him. For that, we are so grateful. So we go. But that's not his essential one. He says, that is not what my real one, man. My real thing is to remove that veil, that ignorance in the jiva. What is that ignorance? If you have to go through that experiences of that karma, essentially you have to believe what? In the reality of the car, isn't it? Imagine, suppose even the car you are actually driving now is also imagination, let's say. Then what will happen to you? Like in the imagination you had, no? Like the dream you had a car, you had a fantastic one. Be satisfied, no? You became a multi-millionaire in the dream. Be happy, no? Morning you wake up, and go for begging. Why? It is a dream. Be satisfied. No. We'll say what? No, 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 Ishwaran, I'm not happy with that. Why you are not happy with that? Erstwhile millionairehood. Because you believe it is imagination. Suppose if you were to believe this body is also imagination, the equipment is also imagination, this is also imagination, will you be able to go through that experience? Remember, he is veiling the whole thing and making you to believe it as real is actually blessing. Don't think veiling is he's hiding, he's cheating. It's not that. Because you wanted to go through those things, you need to believe in the reality of it. Only then you will go through it properly. Therefore, he gives you that belief through his power. Maya. That's the left foot. I'm sorry, that's the right foot on the ground. That's the veiling power. You see. But the ones who are smart enough will touch his feet. Which ones are? Gracefully go and touch this feet. That is why he's pointing to this feet. Hey, don't go there. There are 2 feet we have. I can. Both are blessings only. Both are graces only. But don't go to that feet. Because that feet you go and fall, at best what you will get? Lower anugrah, which I have already given to you. Now, don't waste your time. Pitch up that higher feet. Pitch up that higher anugrah. That's why the left foot is on the air. In fact, it's easy to touch also. You don't have to really bend. Look at the convenience he gives. He is lifting that and showing to you and says, touch this feet. Still what we do, sir, we miss the whole thing. Still we miss it. He is pointing it and he is lifting it also. If he's only pointing it, okay. He's lifting also and showing. Therefore, we say, go and catch hold of that feet, not the right. Go to the left feet. That is why these people say, left foot belongs to whom? Left side belongs to Parvati, Shakti. Right? Therefore, where you should go? That is why I speak only to Uma. I don't talk to SN. SN Agarwal is not necessary for me. Catch hold of Uma Agarwal enough. Problem solved. Easy. That's why if you go, really, if you want to catch hold, don't go to that man of the house. Catch hold of woman. That's why beggar also comes to the house and calls for whom? Amma, Taye, Ma, he will say. He will never come and beg Appa. Bhavati Bhikshandehi only. Isn't it? Only they can catch hold of her, problem solved. Don't waste your time. This fellow is useless. Shiva is useless. That's why this is Shakti, group. They say left side means it belongs to him. Then Vishnu group says actually left side belongs to Vishnu. Therefore, catch hold of Vishnu. Because he is showing only left foot. No. So this is that Nataraja's symbol. What is Nataraja? It's a cosmic dance. The dance performed by Shiva, the ecstasy of that Brahman, ecstasy of realization, the bliss of realization. That's why it is referred as Ananda Tandavam. Not Rudra Tandavam. Referred as Ananda Tandavam. It is where he is firmly kept the right foot and the left foot is raised. Catch hold of it. We'll see more in the next class. Hari Om. Thank you.